that capitalism without competition isn't capitalism, it's exploitation. So we're promoting competition for everything from internet services to meat processing. We basically have 4 meat processors in the whole country. They process the meat that goes into the hamburgers you buy. So they set the price. When there's no competition, they can set the price higher and higher. So we're helping smaller companies get...
You've just been listening to US President Joe Biden delivering remarks on the record inflation here in the US. I'm Lynda Kinkade. Good to have you with us. The president outlined 2 major causes for this record high inflation. He said the once-in-a-century pandemic, which of course shut down the economy and threw supply chains out of whack, and of course Putin's war in Ukraine. He said 60% of inflation in March was due to increases at the gas pump. But he did say that the US is in one of the strongest positions in the world to address this problem. I want to welcome CNN business correspondent Rahel Solomon, who joins us from New York with details on what the Biden administration plans to do to address this problem. And Rahel, good to have you with us. The president did say that the federal bank will work to stabilize prices, but he also said the administration will help bring down the costs of other products, from pharmaceuticals to gas.
Yeah, essentially what we heard Biden say was compare his plan to that of Republicans. But yes, he said that he is going to encourage large corporations and major wealthy Americans to not price gouge and pay more their fair share in taxes. But look, I think critics would also say, yes, he pointed to 2 sort of macro global issues that many economies around the world are dealing with: the pandemic, as you mentioned, and the war in Ukraine. But important to note that critics would also say that the Fed here in the U.S. was slow, that, one common word we heard so much last year was that inflation was transitory. But as we can see, it has not been. And so, yes, there are sort of those macro factors that many are dealing with, but others would also argue that the Fed was slow to get a handle on inflation. And that's what we're dealing with today. So what happens now, Lynda? Well, we get 2 key inflationary reports this week. Tomorrow, we get the Consumer Price Index. And we also get on Thursday the PPI, the Producer Price Index. So those are going to be key inflationary reports. Perhaps why we're hearing from Biden today ahead of tomorrow's report and Thursday's report. But the expectation is that it comes down to 8.1% for CPI compared to 8.5%. Still very hot, certainly no question about that, but perhaps a softening in inflation, and that could perhaps provide some positive momentum for stocks.
All right, and we will take a look at the market a little later. Good to have you with us, Rahel Solomon. We will speak to you very soon. Well, Ukraine's military is reporting successful counter-offensives around the city of Kharkiv.